It's 2 in the morning. Your dog has a perfectly fine luxury bed of his own in the next room. And yet, here he is, circling your mattress, locking his body against your legs, and leaving you a microscopic corner of your own bed. Most American owners assume it's about warmth, habit, or just a needy pup. But behavioral neuroscience tells an entirely different story. What your dog is doing right now, every single night, is one of the most intense, hardwired expressions of evolutionary biology that exists between two species on this planet. And most owners have absolutely no idea. Let's kill the warmth theory first. Your dog has access to a heated living room, a plush couch, and a pile of your laundry on the floor. If comfort or heat was the objective, he has premium, zero-conflict options. So why does he ignore them and choose you? Because sleep is the most dangerous, defenseless state any animal can experience. Every primitive instinct in your dog's brain, inherited from thousands of years of predator-prey dynamics, screams at him to find a hidden, secure fortress when his consciousness drops. Instead, he walks past every quiet sanctuary in your house to pass out next to a human 15 times his size. That is not about temperature. That is a deliberate, tactical hijacking of your mattress. And as it turns out, it forces your entire nervous system to plug into a completely different biological frequency the moment you close your eyes. That biological frequency is where the real mystery begins. Because if you look at the raw, clinical data, having a dog on your bed makes absolutely no sense. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic decided to test this by putting medical-grade sleep trackers on 40 adults and their dogs for a week. The objective data came back, and it was brutal. Dogs ruin human sleep. They toss, they turn, they huff, and they execute occasional 3 a.m. full-body stretches that catch you right in the shins. On paper, the human sleep quality was demonstrably worse. And yet, here is the American paradox. Almost every single person in that study reported feeling more comfortable, more secure, and more deeply rested when their dog was pressed against them. Another massive survey from Canisius College went even further, revealing that women rated dogs as far less disruptive bed partners than actual human beings, finding them more comforting and consistent. How do we explain a mathematical lie that feels like a physical truth? The answer was uncovered in a groundbreaking 2024 study from the University of Jyväskylä in Finland. Scientists monitored the heart rate variability, or HRV, of 30 dog owner pairs. HRV is the ultimate window into your autonomic nervous system. High HRV means you are calm and regulated, while low HRV means your fight-or-flight stress response is firing. What they discovered was mind-blowing. During rest, the nervous systems of the dog and the owner didn't just operate in the same room, they locked into a synchronized dance. They inched into the exact same rhythm. When you are lying there, stressed about your mortgage or next week's corporate presentation, your dog's autonomic state shifts to match your anxiety. But as the night deepens, the reverse happens. The slow, rhythmic, predictable breathing of your dog acts as a powerful biofeedback loop. Your brain registers that steady rise and fall. It forces your cortisol levels to plummet and co-regulates your racing nervous system back to baseline. True, restorative sleep doesn't require perfect sterile silence. It requires your primitive brain to believe it is safe. And sleeping next to your dog tells your biology that the perimeter is secure. But this invisible neural connection isn't just a byproduct of modern domestic life. It is a psychological bond so fiercely maternal. It mirrors the exact relationship of a human infant to its mother. That fierce maternal bond is exactly what researchers at Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest wanted to crack open. But before we dive into their mind-blowing discovery, welcome to Doggo Mind, your ultimate sanctuary for understanding the hidden science of your fur baby. If you love your pup as much as we do, take a split second right now to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below, letting us know your dog's name. It helps other dog lovers find our community, and we'd love to welcome you to the pack. Now back to the science. Those researchers took a legendary psychological test used for decades to evaluate human infants, Ainsworth's strange situation procedure, and applied it directly to domestic dogs. The data that came back shocked the scientific community. The results proved that the psychological bond your dog forms with you is functionally identical to the absolute attachment an infant forms with its biological mother. It is the exact same proximity-seeking behavior, the exact same profound distress when you walk out the front door for an 8-hour workday, and the exact same neurological relief when you walk back inside and toss your keys on the counter. In fact, 61% of the dogs tested were classified as securely attached. That is almost the exact same mathematical proportion found when testing human toddlers. So, when your dog walks into your bedroom at night, he isn't executing a trick, and he isn't trying to be an annoying space-hogging pest. He is performing the single most fundamental behavior in attachment psychology, seeking absolute closeness to his safe person at the exact moment of his greatest physical vulnerability. Think about it from a raw, wild perspective. In the animal kingdom, sleep is the ultimate death trap. It is the most defenseless state any living creature can be in. Every primitive, hardwired instinct inherited from thousands of years of predator-prey dynamics screams at your dog to find a hidden fortress, a dark corner, or a secluded den when his consciousness drops to zero. Yet, every single night, your dog actively ignores those instincts. He walks past the quiet corners of your suburban home, bypasses the safety of the shadows, and climbs onto a towering mattress next to a human 15 times his mass. He isn't being needy. He is telling you, with every ounce of his biology, that you are the safest thing in his entire world. But this psychological fortress didn't just appear out of thin air. To truly understand why he chose you over the entire house, we have to look backward, thousands of years into the past, at a radical genetic mutation that forever altered the history of our two species. That radical genetic mutation traces back roughly 15,000 years ago, long before the first modern cities or sprawling American suburbs ever existed. Dogs hold a legendary title in evolutionary history. They are the only animal to be domesticated before the invention of agriculture, before farming, and before writing. During the brutal Ice Age, ancient wolves began approaching primitive human camps. They weren't looking for a fight. They were drawn by the warmth of our fires and the scrap food we left behind. The friendliest wolves, the ones least likely to run or bite, survived better around humans. They guarded the perimeter while humans slept, creating history's first mutual security pact. But this wasn't just a cold business transaction of food for protection. It quickly became deeply personal. In Germany, archaeologists unearthed a prehistoric burial site dated back 14,000 years. Inside were two humans interred together, and laid right beside them were two prehistoric dogs. When scientists analyzed the skeletal remains, they found a detail that reshaped our entire understanding of history. One of the dogs had suffered from severe canine distemper, a brutal viral infection that typically kills an animal within 3 months. The bone scans proved this dog had been in a state of intensive care for over 5 weeks. 14,000 years ago, someone spent valuable, scarce resources nursing a dying animal through its illness. These creatures weren't working tools. They were family. And modern science has proved this bond is written directly into their DNA. Geneticists recently discovered that domestic dogs carry a highly unique genetic insertion in a specific region of chromosome 6. This genetic marker is directly associated with extreme friendliness and hypersociability, a profound, non-stop urge to seek out human physical contact. Wolves do not have this insertion. Dogs were literally physically shaped at a molecular level to want to be near us, to love us, and to sleep beside us. Cooper isn't doing something unusual or breaking the rules when he crawls onto your bed. He is executing a biological mandate that has been meticulously selected for across 15 millennia. But this hardwired ancient connection doesn't just live in the history books. It creates an immediate, highly addictive neurochemical reaction the very second your skin touches his fur. That neurochemical reaction is a literal explosion of chemistry. In 2015, a team of researchers at Asabu University in Japan published a historic study in the journal Science that mapped this exact contact. They discovered that when you gaze into your dog's eyes, your brain releases a massive surge of oxytocin, the exact same bonding hormone that floods a human mother's brain when she cradles her newborn baby for the very first time. But here is the miracle. Cooper's brain simultaneously experiences the exact same oxytocin spike. It triggers a self-reinforcing cross-species neurochemical loop. You look at him, your oxytocin goes up, which makes you smile. He reads your face. His oxytocin climbs, which makes him lean closer. No other two species on this planet share this biological hack. Just 10 minutes of petting your dog before turning off the lights produces immediate, measurable drops in your cortisol levels. It literally wipes away the crushing stress of your chaotic workday. Now, imagine that healing, invisible chemical connection multiplying over an 8-hour sleep cycle. It is the ultimate mental sanctuary. But because this nightly ritual is so deeply hardwired, you need to hear this next part very clearly. Dogs are creatures of absolute routine. If Cooper has been glued to your legs for months or years, and suddenly, one Friday night, he stops. If he walks to the bedroom door, turns away, and chooses to sleep on the cold kitchen floor or a distant corner of the living room, do not brush it off. Do not assume he is just growing up or wanting space. Dogs do not speak English. Behavior is the only language they have to scream for help. American veterinary researchers warn that a sudden, unexplained shift in sleep location is one of the earliest behavioral warning signs of acute physical pain. It happens long before you see a visible limp, joint stiffness, or whimpering. A dog who abruptly stops jumping onto your high mattress might not prefer the floor. He might be hurting. Even more serious, for dogs over 8 years old, disrupted sleep patterns and sudden midnight wandering are the hallmark, foundational symptoms of canine cognitive dysfunction, the dog equivalent of Alzheimer's disease. It is a terrifying reality that quietly attacks an estimated 35% of senior dogs. When the nightly routine breaks, pay attention. Your dog is trying to tell you a dark secret, because the mattress isn't just a place where they sleep. It is the ultimate barometer of their survival. So, the next time you snap awake at 3 o'clock in the morning, realizing you've been brutally pinned to the very edge of your bed, do not push him away. When you find yourself with exactly 6 inches of mattress real estate, your blankets completely hijacked, and 80 pounds of sleeping dog heavy against your legs, take a deep breath and just look at him. In a fast-paced American society driven by non-stop stress, exhausting work hours, and deep social isolation, Cooper had a house full of other choices. He could have slept on the soft couch, the heated pad, or the quiet floor. But he actively rejected every single one of those comfortable, warm sanctuaries for one simple reason. He chose you. He chose you because through the lens of 15,000 years of evolutionary survival, an exclusive neurochemical loop, and a primal brain that equates your presence with absolute protection, sleeping beside you is the safest place in his entire world. You aren't just the person who fills his food bowl and pays the veterinary bills. You are his ultimate fortress. And as modern science clearly proves, that heavy breathing presence co-regulating your nervous system through the dark might be the very thing keeping your own heart healthy too. Where is your dog sleeping tonight? Are they curled up at your feet, taking over the center of the mattress, or completely stealing your favorite pillow? Drop a comment below and share your story with us, and make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. In our next video, we are diving into an even stranger, deeply misunderstood canine behavior. The real evolutionary reason why your dog looks you dead in the eyes every single time they go to the bathroom in the backyard. The science behind it is wilder than you think.